It is 8:01. I'm a minute late. My bad. Anyway, I hope you're having a great start to the day. Rise and shine. It is a beautiful one. And while we may not be in the 60s, the dew point is low enough. I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to come outside and do coffee talk on the back porch. So it's beautiful outside. There's some clouds at my house. I hope things are lovely in your neighborhood as well. I can tell you, just checking out our Tower Cam network, this is out in Lake County. It's looking good. It's looking beautiful. Temperatures across Central Florida may not be cool everywhere, but they're not bad either. This is a live look. 75 in Orlando, 67 in DeLand. We're at 67 degrees in Palm Coast, but 81 in Melbourne. There's a definite boundary just sitting right over top of us, but the dew points tell the story, okay? The dew point temperature in Orlando is 62. Right? 65 degrees in Sanford, 66 in Palm Coast. So these are dew point temperatures, mind you, not actual temperatures. But the dew points in the 60s area-wide mean that even if you're in Brevard where like it's 80 degrees, the dew point is 68. It feels outstanding, which means our muggy meter is downright pleasant in most locations. So this is good. This is good. After a summer of not so good, this is good. I missed doing coffee talk on my back patio. The lighting isn't that great. I'll turn on the old the cell phone light. Is that better? Is that filling in my face a little bit? I'm not going to do this forever, but at least you know if I'm ugly, it's because of the lighting, right? Anyway, I hope you're having a great morning. Really beautiful stuff. Cold front continues to sit over South Florida. And what we're ending up with is some clouds overrunning it, which is why we've got the cloud cover over top today. It's lovely. That front is going to eventually lift back to the north. And when it does, we're going to rise rain chances. But we don't think that that's today. We think that that's going to be more of like oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness, I've got the wrong, hold on a second. I've got my afternoon coffee talk thing set up here. Hold on a second. Hi, Gavalt. I got too excited about this morning. I wasn't even paying attention to what planner I had set up. Okay. There we go. There's our morning planner. Okay. All right. So for today, a sprinkle or two. It's going to be beautiful otherwise. Clouds, sure, but it's not going to be ominous. 83 by 11 o'clock, 89 degrees by 3 p.m. Just beautiful. Just beautiful stuff. Oh, man. I love it. Cindy, good morning to you. Carla, good morning. David, Marie, Nikki, good morning, everybody. It is beautiful outside. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Steph says, felt really good about an hour ago in Deltona. Now that the sun's showing up more, it's gotten a bit warmer, but still better than anything we've had lately. And that's the truth, right? Like, even if it's just a little bit muggier, just a little bit warmer, this is still better than we are at. Beverly says, it's gorgeous in Ocala. I would agree with that. Terry says, was 66 in Denellen this morning. Oh, come on, Terry. That's the stuff dreams are made of, right? Frankie, good morning. I see you're in there. Melody says, oh, fresh air coffee time, right? This is all good stuff. This is all good stuff. Man, oh, man. I'm taking in that fresh air. Mike says, I hear the birds by you. Yeah, the birds are chirping. The fountain behind me is turned on. It's good. Lisa says, oh, my goodness, I hear your birds in the background. Thank you for sitting outside. It's just beautiful. I hear jets flying overhead. That's a Southwest flight outbound. So nice. Michael's asking about theme parks tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of rainfall. Rain chances are going to be rising over the next few hours' time. So yeah, Warren, good morning to you. Hope you have a wonderful day as well. And yes, stay humble. I love that. Looks nice. Looks like a nice day for a bike ride. Indeed, it does. Steph, contemplating Halloween Horror Nights on Thursday night. Thoughts on the weather? So let's talk a little bit about our weather pattern, okay? Because it's lovely now. Absolutely beautiful. But let's look at the surface map here, okay? We've got that drier air in place, the stormy air down in South Florida. But that front is going to start to scoot back to the north, retrograding a little bit. And so our rain chances Wednesday into Thursday are going to start to rise. And then on Thursday, we're going to watch this non-tropical area of low pressure develop. Now, a couple things on that. First off, it's going to be throwing moisture our way. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, our rain chances are going to be on the increase. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this area of non-tropical low pressure may actually try to start taking some subtropical characteristics and lift to the north, but that would then pull down some drier air for us. So we'll look at the 7-day forecast together here, and then we can get into kind of some Futurecast stuff together, okay? So here we are, and first off, notice today we're nice, we're mostly dry, right? Tomorrow, not mostly dry. Those rain chances are on the increase. 50% coverage Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, we'll kind of get some of that subsidence around that low and we'll dry out a little bit. So it's not perfect. Okay? It's not perfect. It's not terrible, but it's not perfect. Forna says, beautiful in Venice. I love your program. Thank you. Enjoy a great day. Forna, you as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Crystal's asking, when will we have a real cold front? Like 50s. So it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while. Remember, October is really when we get all of that started. Yeah. Is the wet season over now that the cold fronts are making it here? We're starting. It's not done yet. I mean, by textbook definition, we're definitely starting that trend. But notice, without the cold fronts, you know, what we need to see is a decent cold front. This was like a textbook definition front, but I don't know that we're quite to the dry season by definition yet. Let's just, you know, cold fronts are starting, sure, but I can tell you, like, even yesterday, the sea breeze formed. So we're not there yet. Right. The sea breeze storms were starved of moisture, but the sea breeze still formed. So we're not there yet. All right. The cold fronts came through, but it didn't bring cool air. It just brought some drier air. So we're not there yet. And typically October 15th is the beginning of that. Here we are. We're still in the mid-September timeframe. So we're not there yet. But we're starting, right? We're starting. And I'll take that any day of the week. The transition. We're getting there. Little by little by little. Taylor, so I must have muted the troll because I don't see any comments, but I apologize for the inappropriate comments. I'll have to figure out how to block any of these trolls that I may have only muted them myself and I didn't mean to, so I'll figure that out. Yeah. Mike, what time will this tropical, non-tropical storm system hit my house? Oh, Gewalt. Yeah. We'll talk about models and all that fun stuff, but yeah, I know you're joking, but yeah. Jenny says hotel poolside Friday, maybe a washout. I mean, we're going with a 50% coverage of showers and storms, so that's not quite a washout, but we'll look at the models together, okay? All right. So, Arlene, greetings to you as well. So let's start off with just our Futurecast and kind of detail where we're at the next couple of days, okay? So here we are. This is Futurecast, and this is right now. Looks beautiful, right? Let's roll through time, and you can see a sprinkle or so, nothing crazy, but particularly south of town. And one thing that's interesting is our Futurecast model is actually a little more bullish today than it was yesterday about today. So I lowered the rain chance yesterday, but then Kellyanne, let me go back. Yesterday, 10%. I knew today was a 20%, but I'm glad Kellyanne kept it at a 20%. That's what I'm trying to say. Because the models are definitely kind of going with that 20% coverage of rain, maybe even more. I mean, according to this, our Futurecast is quite bullish, particularly south of town. That'll be interesting to see. And the only reason that I'm even entertaining that idea is, and this is where meteorology, you kind of have to pull your head out of your tuchus a little bit and look and see the forest through the trees. Because when we look at the front, notice the front may be South Florida, but that moisture plume is like right over us. So based on that, we may actually end up with a little bit of rain later this afternoon because that moisture, which leads me to believe that maybe that front has backed up, and there's a kind of an easy-ish way to tell. Give me 2 seconds. Winds. Of course, that's wind speeds. That's not wind contours. Let's just look at the wind contours here and see. So the front is kind of over like the Palm Beaches. For us, we're all getting that northerly wind, but it's, you know, if you look at the wind turn, it's like it's down over the Palm Beaches. So that does make sense. All right, so just running through, that's wind speeds, but that's not wind jet streams. I'm just trying to see if I've got a Futurecast that's already built with what I'm looking for. There. All right. So this afternoon, yeah, so basically Futurecast is kind of showing, you see how the winds turn to more of an easterly direction? Futurecast is basically already having that front backing up to our area this afternoon. So there will be some showers south of town. It just depends on exactly where that front ends up actually being. All right, if that makes sense. So that's that. All right, let's take Futurecast and go through this afternoon into this evening, and we'll run into tomorrow. Coastal showers possible overnight. Yeah, and then for tomorrow, the morning looks good, coastal showers, but tomorrow afternoon looks stormier, right? Everything working from east to west for our Wednesday. Overnight rains for the beaches. And then Thursday, interesting, the Futurecast is already throwing that subsidence in place. So tomorrow may be the wetter of the days, and then looking at Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that subsidence kind of sneaks in. We'll see. Either way, as an area of low pressure, non-tropical, tries to form into a subtropical system, we are going to end up with some sort of subsidence layer. We are going to end up with some sort of drier air moving in. Maybe it is a little drier Thursday, Friday. We'll have to watch the model trends on that. But either way, today, some showers, particularly south of town, and then lowered humidity, just feeling great. All right, let's see here. Debbie's asking, do we have tracking the tropics at 10? We do, and I will go inside to be Mr. Professional. I'll be inside. Yep. Beck, I'm sorry to see that you're not feeling well. Jillian says, I'm here only 13 minutes late. Good morning, coffee crew. Good morning to you. Jessica, hey, Eric, I was wondering if you could share the trending high, low temps, or average temps for the next couple of months. Curious historically when we start to see cooler weather. Sure. So if we look at meteorological fall, okay, these are the average temperatures for the months, highs and lows. So September, still warm. We know this. Although today, let's take a minute. Although the average temperatures, if I can find the darn thing, the average high temperature today in Orlando, y'all ready for this? 89. The average high temperature, 89. So we've started. Today is the day. No longer do we have average high temperatures anywhere in Central Florida in the 90s for the next few months. We have started our downhill climb. But anyway, back to meteorological fall, just to show the next few months. The average high for the month of September is 90. And then October and November, obviously, we drop. We never get to 70 for an average high temperature, I don't think. We get to like 70 and change, 71, 72, that kind of thing. But yeah, October definitely is when we move the needle. In November, we're getting better and better and better. But yeah, average high temperature today. Can you believe it? It's a beautiful forecast today. I'm just celebrating the fact that the average high temperature is 89. Look at it. So prominently featured on this graphic. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, man, oh, man. Why drink, David? What did I say? Sharon says, we're moving our RV today to Eustis. Nothing wrong with that. Sounds pretty good to me. The pool deck looks so comfy. Need to move. Mama needs a pool. Come on down. Come on down. It's a lovely day here. It's a lovely day. I think the weather folks should do reports outside in the weather. If I could, I would. Look, if I could just stay home and do the weather all day, 100% would. 100% would. Yeah. John's asking any idea what temperatures will look like around Halloween. So to do that, John, we'll have to do the BSR. And I don't have that set up. So I will tell you, for bandwidth purposes, anytime I'm not sitting at my desk, I actually run Coffee Talk out of Wesh, and I have not loaded the BSR on the Wesh version of Coffee Talk. So believe it or not, if you think about it like TV, okay, when I'm at my desk in my office, my laptop is the control room, and I bring the video feed from the weather computer into my computer at home. Right now, think of it as I'm a live shot. So the Wesh computer is the control room, and I'm beaming in my feed to that control room. I know that that sounds goofy, and it doesn't seem any different for you, the recipient, and that's on purpose. The problem is my Wesh control room of sorts, I've not put the BSR together yet. So when I go into my office after Coffee Talk, when I go into my office to do the Tracking the Tropics, I will run Coffee Talk off of my computer, switching control rooms, and I'll have the BSR. And I need to get the BSR on my computer, on my Wesh one. Does that make sense? So think of it as like I'm a live reporter right now, and I'm coming to you from a live truck. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does or not. It's nerd stuff. I don't know. Perhaps it does. I'll get you there. Okay. Alan says logical. Okay. Very good. Very good. Is that how you're able to do Coffee Talk from your car? Correct. Yeah, correct. Because I'm basically beaming my footage to Wesh. That way, even if my video quality is kind of crummy, like the lower third is high resolution, it's a much easier lift on low bandwidth situations. Yeah. That's all. The BSR is away from home. Yeah, the BSR is at home. That's what it is. Anyway, so I'll get to it. I'll get to it for you. I promise. Mickey says, makes sense to me, but I'm a nerd through and through. Bazinga, that's true. Oh, well. All right. Any other questions about our local forecast? Otherwise, we can move on and do tropics. Juan Carlos, good morning to you, bud. How are you? Denise, good morning to you. Les says, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, listen, I try to do what's best for the bandwidth and that means using some complexities. That's all. That's all. All right. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the tropics. I love when I get the producers. The producer telling me to move on. Yes, Janice. For you, I will move on. All right. To the tropics we go. The good news here is that nothing is really threatening us. We've got Hurricane Nigel, which is spinning out there in the open Atlantic. Here's a closer inspection of Hurricane Nigel. Winds are at 85. It's not what you would call an overly powerful storm system. And the rapid intensification thought process has definitely come down. Expected to intensify a little bit to a Category 2 hurricane, but it's not going to become what it was. And look at the forecast. I mean, it's not that often that you have a storm expected to kind of work up basically toward the Arctic Circle by this weekend. So that's kind of fun. That's always kind of fun. All right. Off the coast of Africa, we've got a new wave that will be coming off shortly. There is a high 70% likelihood that this gets going into a tropical depression or a tropical storm or something to that effect late this week into the weekend. This we'll have to watch. Computer models are not sold 100% on what it does, and we can look at the ensembles certainly here in just a couple of minutes' time. And then there's this thing, that old front sitting off the coast of Florida, and so often, particularly in October and November, but even in September, you have to watch these areas for development. And as is such, you know, you could get a little something. What's going to happen is that an area of low pressure forms. We know that. We don't know for sure if it will try to take subtropical characteristics. Either way, though, it's going to rough up some wave action, rough up some surf, and eventually grab down some dew points. And we're going to look at the modeling on that as well. Okay, so for now, nothing around that's overly threatening to us. And that's important. That's important. Gert and Nigel have been my favorite names. I know, they're so sweet, Laura, right? Mike says you should make some of us regulars moderators so we can get rid of trolls easier. Yeah, I guess I muted. I thought I blocked people, but maybe I just muted them. So I need to go back and figure that out. And I do apologize for any of you all seeing some negative comments. I have to figure that out. Just had a whole raccoon family playing in my front yard. Mom and daddy and 4 kiddos. It was cute. That is nice. I like that. As long as they're not rabid and bothering anybody. All right. So that's a look at the tropics right now. Becky says I blocked the last one. Yeah, I need to block them as well for my page. So that's a look at the tropics right now. Let's then do this. Let's come over and let's look at the raw computer models. And in addition to the tropics, I also want to take a look at the models in terms of dew points. All right, so let's just kind of look at the broad stroke. This is the American GFS model. There's Nigel recurving, not doing anything. There's that little area of low pressure, a little closer to Florida in the United States. We know that an area of low pressure is going to form, right? The question is, does it have enough of an opportunity to, become tropical or subtropical? Look at this kind of, so there's that pressure dropping as of Friday, late Thursday into Friday, and then kind of lifting and kind of working up the shoreline. And according to that, you're looking at a decent little area of low pressure off the shoreline, and then kind of staying off the eastern seaboard, and then working up and off the shoreline. Now, I will add that if you notice the location of that guy, and certainly Jeremy and I are going to discuss this more in depth, but if you're going to notice where that is, this area of low pressure is a part of the no-name January part of the pattern. Makes sense, doesn't it? It's that last recycle of that one. And then as that moves away, we look a little something around Puerto Rico. That's September 29th. And then look at that. There's like the one around Puerto Rico, one in the central Atlantic, one in kind of the Bermuda water. Like what? And then something in the Gulf of Mexico. Like the focus starts to shift a little closer to home, but it's there for some stuff to watch. And then look at that kind of something super weak and sloppy around October 2nd and 3rd. Over Florida, some lowered pressure, that's rain. Yeah, and at least, again, nothing overly dramatic or threatening. Let's look at the GFS ensembles. GFS ensembles. And there's Nigel doing its thing. Let's come in a little bit. All right, you can see all those members kind of starting to show an area of low pressure. Most of the GFS ensembles at least bring it in, but lifting that to the north. Then there's that next wave, and there's not a ton of ensemble support on where to go with that wave. You can see there's a lot of confusion, and then right in here, that's October 2nd. Kind of interesting that, of course, as I'm doing coffee talk, the neighbor's doing his yard. That always works, doesn't it? Just my luck. But kind of interesting that there's some ensemble support for something around us around October 2nd and 3rd. The operational model is not showing that really, as much. Pressure anomaly, like it's got sloppy, nothing organized. But anyway, we'll definitely look more into the ensembles and the rest of the models on tracking the tropics coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. But it at least lets you know that at least for now, at the moment, there's nothing overly threatening to us, and that's we can always look for something. Cindy's asking if there's anything out in the Gulf or anywhere. No, the Gulf, the Yucatan Peninsula, the Bay of Campeche, looking okay for now. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought I heard a rake or something. No, he's literally weed whacking, like, right there. So, always fun. My neighbor's mowers arrived too. Had to head inside. Yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, that's where we're at. All right, 7-day forecast looking fantastic. First day of fall, Saturday. Highs in the mid 80s. Is that not a good look or what? Right? Man, I love that. Laura says drink. Oh, 100% drink. Yep. Us lawn care people are so... I know, Laura. I know. I'm not going to get mad about it. I'm just laughing at the irony. That's all. Like the one day I choose to do coffee talk outside. But to be honest with you, I don't think that they have a clue what I do for a living. I don't think that they have a clue that I'm outside broadcasting. And that's fine. I wouldn't ask them to change it. They're entitled to do, what they want on their yard on their days. So I'm fine with it. But it is pretty funny. I love that the only 9 I see on there is 89. I know, right? Right? It's perfect. When will the low temperatures be consistently below 70? So you have to remember, it takes a while. I'm just looking. So on average, we've not done it yet. On average, it's around September 5th. Last year was September 29th. We've gotten close this year, but we've not done it. We did 69.8 like a week or 2 weeks ago, which rounds to 70 at Orlando. So, yeah. Not done it yet, but usually you start getting it late September, early October. You've got to start getting it. So we'll get there. But remember, in Orlando, it's always just timing out fronts, and that's all. So that's where we're at. You know what I mean? Getting mad wouldn't do anything productive. That's the thing, man, right? Thank you, Robin. I sound fine. Thank you. Jamie, I have a nice backyard. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ann Herrick is asking, is it time to bring out the BSR map yet? Yes, it is, and we will at 10 a.m. for tracking the tropics. And I went on this whole diatribe about why I can't do it right now because I don't have it on this control room of sorts, but I will. Need to get some headphones. I'm not deaf by 50 because of the loud equipment. Yeah, we have a new guy, so I'm not outside working, and I'm kind of mad because those temps are nice. I know, this is when you need to. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate it. So any other questions, comments, concerns before we wrap this thing up? Reminder that even if Coffee Talk is coming to an end, a reminder that we are not done yet, because coming up at 10 a.m., Tracking the Tropics, WJCL Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Nelson will join me. We're going to talk all about our local forecast in terms of tropics. All right, what could be going on there, and any concerns? Am I on a lake? No, I'm not on a lake. I've got a little pond though. Yeah, when we built this house, it was like, that's the lot. I thought El Nino helped to limit tropics. Seems like it's been pretty active. All I will say, Nick, is that when I put out my hurricane season forecast March the 1st, I did not call for a below average season. Yeah. All right. Hopefully the toddler will let me watch at 10. Agreed. All right, people. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you at 10 a.m. for Tracking the Tropics, and then 3:30 for the afternoon coffee talk. And I'm on at noon and 4 on Wesh 2 News. All right? All right. Be good, y'all. Take care. Thanks. See you in a little bit. Bye.